Welcome back, everybody. Episode 3 of the Dream Crushers podcast. We will be talking on this episode about mindfulness and meditation. So bear with us. I'm going to try and not get too schmoovy-doovy, all yogi,
what the hell?
hippie on you.
What is
all Buddha-like. It's very normal. Very normal.
Okay.
With that being said, I'm going to talk about how simple mindfulness meditation is kind of what it is, for those who don't know. If you were like me, when I first heard of meditation, I thought of it as something that only like a monk would do, and you're sitting in silence and you got your legs crossed and your hands out, and that's to me what meditation was. But I have learned through open-mindedness and listening to other people talk about it who are much smarter than me about it, that it is really something very simple. And when you do it, a lot of people, one of the common misconceptions is that to meditate, you have to completely clear your mind and think about nothing. And a lot of people will say, well, I can't do that. I try to clear my mind and my mind's just racing and I just can't do it. I tried it and I can't do it. And I hear that all the time. And I kind of thought the same thing before I listened to some very experienced people talk about what it actually was. And what it was explained to me as is a way to look at your thoughts in a different way. And when you're meditating, you're simply hyper-focusing on something else, as in the breath, or maybe you feel yourself sitting down if you're sitting, and you're focusing on that. And then as soon as your mind wanders and you start thinking about what you're going to have for lunch, or that cat YouTube video that you watched, or whatever it is that's racing through your mind, you just realize that you drifted and you come back to the breath. For example, I'll just talk about the breath because it's easier.
Well, and before you get too deep, if you're already going to explain this, sorry, but why is it a thing? Why would somebody want to meditate in the first place before you get too deep into this is how?
Okay, that's a good idea.
Why does it exist in the world? And
so I honestly don't know enough about it to say why it was originally created.
Okay. Why is this guy right here want to?
But for I can only tell you about my experiences and what I've heard from other people. When you meditate, it is like exercising your brain. You will learn that you can control your thoughts a little bit better. You'll realize things that you're thinking of. You just kind of become more aware of your thoughts. So, for example, you're driving in traffic and some guy cuts you off and slams on the brakes, and you get furious, as most of us do.
Every time.
You boil over. And you're like, fuck that guy. You flip him off, and you blow your top. You explode, and you get completely pissed. As I've meditated, I've realized that you see things coming. So somebody cuts you off, same exact thing. The guy cuts you off, and I feel myself start boiling up, and I'm about to say it, and then I realize, oh, that's an input that is making me angry, and instead of acting on it, I react to it. And so it kind of helps you in a way that you become less volatile. Somebody does something that pisses you off, and you can kind of think about it more, and you're like, oh, like, I understand what's happening. He cut me off. It was extremely rude. I'm becoming angry. And because the problem is that it doesn't affect that guy. When you get mad, you get pissed off, you flip him off, he goes on about his day. He's happy and cheery and goes and does whatever. But most oftentimes, we hold on to that, you know? You get to work 30 minutes later, and you're still thinking about that guy that cut you off, and you're still irritated. And it can, for some people, it can ruin your whole day. And all you're thinking about is, I wish I would have pulled over and kicked that guy's ass or whatever, you know? But it's like, it's stupid, that affected him. It didn't affect him at all.
Yeah.
And you're basically just letting him win. And so when you have more control over it, he cuts you off, slams on the brakes, and you're like, maybe you're like, fuck that guy. But you move on. It helps you control your own feelings and thoughts. And that's just one example. It can help in many aspects, because as human beings, we have a lot of feelings and emotion about everything that we do.
Now, to be clear, you're not meditating while you're driving.
No.
Right?
I mean, you can.
Ugh, don't do that.
I mean, there's different ways. Meditation is a very broad category.
Oh, okay.
But for me, when I meditate personally, my eyes are closed and I'm focusing on my breath. And,
Don't do that.
And yeah, don't do that while you're driving. That'd be a bad idea. Open your eyes. But yeah, so that's kind of how it applies. It can it makes you feel better. You're less irritable, and you just kind of become a better person for yourself and for the other people around you. I've heard of a lot of people say that their spouses and stuff have told them, like, you're a lot less of an asshole lately, and it's easy to take it out on the ones that we love. That's most oftentimes having somebody pisses you off and you bring it back home and you take it out on your wife or kids or whoever's there. And so yeah, it just kind of helps with that. And so kind of getting back into what it is, you just kind of you're calm, you're focusing on your breath, your eyes are closed, you're relaxed, and it helps you relax your whole body, because especially when you're led, there's many different apps that you can get. I know it sounds super 2018 and stupid that there's an app for meditation, but there really is an app for that. And there's different apps. 10% Happier, there's the Headspace app. I've used a couple of these different ones. We're not sponsored by these people. This is just something that I've experienced. And it's super simple. It's easy. You can download the app, or I'm sure you could watch videos on YouTube. You just look up mindfulness, meditation, and simple meditation practices. It doesn't have to be hours and hours long. Some meditations range from a minute to 20 minutes. And it really, if nothing else, it gives you time to escape the craziness and busyness of the day and relax for a second. You have time alone where you don't have to think about anything when thoughts come and go. There's different meditations too where you don't try and clear your mind, where you're sitting there and you're just have your eyes closed, you're focused on your breath, but you're letting all the thoughts come and go as they please. Kind of as we talked about in the last video, with being open-minded, having a door that's opened and letting things come in and out freely. When you meditate in that way, you just kind of see your thoughts. You don't hold on to them. You don't try and chase them down. You just let them come and go as they please, and it's extremely relaxing. When you get done with it, you almost feel like you come out of a state of like you were hypnotized or something, or like you feel like high almost. You're just so relaxed, and it's just like a nice feeling. I like to do it like first thing in the morning before I walk into work. It helps me kind of set the tone and mood for the rest of my day.
So that's why you're late.
Yeah, if I'm late, I'm meditating for sure. Just trying to be a better person for work. All right,
I won't bust your balls anymore. I'm done.
But yeah, it just kind of helps set the pace for the day, and it's helped me a lot in just kind of becoming happier. And I think it's important for people to realize that it doesn't have to be part of some religion or anything. It's just meditation by itself. And
it's not a prayer.
And the more you do it, like I said, you're exercising your brain. There's actually been studies done at different universities and stuff where they have scanned people's brains, students and stuff, that have meditated for like once a day for 20 minutes over like a 6-month period or whatever it was, and they show brain growth. There's actually brain activity, and you're working your brain out, and so it makes thinking about things easier. Like quite literally, your brain is expanding and getting bigger, and it helps control thoughts. That was kind of a long run of words. So also too, just to set this in balance, Aaron has never been into meditation or done it for himself. So we thought this would be kind of interesting before he tried it to talk about it, so he can kind of maybe answer some questions that you guys might have as somebody who's never done it before, and get that kind of perspective on it.
Well, yeah. Already I'm interested. I wasn't interested before because the app wanted to charge me, and I wasn't ready for that. So, but I'm interested because I've heard several times you mentioned, when somebody pisses you off in traffic or pisses you off in general or something, and then you just dwell on it for a long time. And prior to learning anything about meditation, I learned that it's really important to let it go. So it's interesting to know that there's something that could help with that, because exactly what you said, they don't even know you're pissed off. So even though they're gargling on blood in your mind because you're beating the crap out of them, they don't know, and they're just going to go cut off the next person in traffic. So really the only one you're hurting is you. That's it. And then what's the point? So why put yourself through that? And it doesn't feel good. Oh my God, that does not feel good. I get hot, and I get so mad. So, man, I need to meditate because I'm getting mad right now. But yeah, I'm gonna look into it, see what it is.
And
honestly, I don't really have any questions yet. I mean, I want to learn how, but I don't think we have time to do a meditation. Is there like a simple meditation that you just do real quick? It's like, I know there's a lot of guided meditations and stuff like that too,
I mean, typically how it would go, I'm not really going to do it because I don't have the experience and knowledge to lead one, but I'll kind of break it down for you. So typically what they would have you do, they would have you sit in a comfortable position, sitting upright, relaxed, but aware. You would close your eyes. I feel like that makes it easier for me. They say you can keep your eyes open if you want to. I close my eyes. You start taking slow, deep breaths in the nose, out the mouth. You're kind of focusing on that, and you're just kind of settling yourself. You're setting up the foundation for the meditation. So you're relaxing your face, you're relaxing your shoulders, soften the belly, feel yourself sitting. Think about the fact that you're sitting and you feel the chair or the cushion underneath you, and then you just breathe in slowly. You focus on the feeling of the breath going in your nose, maybe the cool feeling, or maybe you're focusing on the feeling of the stomach moving in and out as you breathe. And they say it very relaxing, and it's kind of like a mental massage almost.
The very small amount of things I've heard about meditating is either stop me or agree, but they say that once you're relaxed, it's mainly just allowing the thoughts to come into your head and push them out. Allow the thought to come into your head and push them out. Basically trying to keep not an open mind, but a blank thing in there. So you're almost not thinking about anything, and I have tried that, which is really...
That is the type that I was talking about, where you don't try to clear your mind at all. You just kind of let thoughts arise and you let them go. You don't hold on to them. You don't chase them down a rabbit hole. You just let them come and let them go. And that is one style. The other style is more focusing on something. You can focus on the breath, focus on something of yourself like that, like the breath or the stomach moving in and out as you breathe.
Like awareness or just fully aware.
You're being fully aware, focusing on that one thing, and it kind of helps clear anything else out. And then, like will happen for all of us, you'll think about a bologna sandwich or something completely random, and then as you realize, oh, I got off track, I'm not thinking about my breath anymore, you just note it. Okay, thinking about a bologna sandwich, bring it back to the breath. And the act of restarting is the meditation. It's not the fact of having a clear mind, it's restarting, realizing the thoughts that come. And that's how it was explained to me. And it you can also too, if you're somewhere, say you're outside and there's crickets chirping, you can just focus on the sound of the cricket chirping. Or if you're on a busy street, you can meditate thinking about or listening to the cars go by. They've even said you can meditate in a construction zone. It doesn't have to be this peaceful, calm, and quiet place. You just have to be able to focus on something and realize when thoughts arise, that you let them pass and you return to the breath. You simply begin again, as they say.
Right on.
And again, just to reiterate, we're not super yoga master, Zen-minded people. We're
certainly not.
We're just everyday dudes. We're mechanics. And for me, it's just kind of helped control my attitude, my emotions. I notice things arise a little bit easier. It's helped control my frustration in whether I'm doing whatever in life. I'm working or in my personal life, and something irritates me. I notice it arising, and I can decide what I want to do with that information instead of just reacting to it out of like instinct almost, you know?
I'm going to test you.
What?
I don't know. I'm just going to, not now. I'm just going to, in the future, maybe at work tomorrow, I'm just going to poke you and prod you and just try to get you to flare up.
Yeah. And another thing, in our last video, if you haven't checked it out, in episode 2, we talked about being open-minded and gaining perspective. For me, the whole meditation thing was a result of being open-minded. Before, I would have thought meditation, I would never do that. That's not something for me. That's weird. It's not something that I would be into at all. I couldn't benefit from that. As I opened my mind, I said, okay, let's try it out. What's the worst that could happen? I tried it out, and turns out it's awesome. I really like it. It's cool. And maybe you try it and you don't like it. That's okay too. But being open-minded led me to the place where I could meditate, where I could try new things in my life. And in return, meditating has helped me realize thoughts as they come up in conversation, and helps me to maintain my open-mindedness. So as he would just said, he's going to test me, he's going to try and irritate me. That I've learned when you're talking to somebody about something maybe you don't agree with, you're debating with them, and they bring up a fact that you don't like or a topic you don't like, it's easy to become frustrated. And when you become frustrated and emotional, you bring emotion into a debate where you're kind of talking about facts. It becomes very hard to get rid of your confirmation bias and be open-minded to what they have to say. And that can hurt you in the long run, learning things. And I think that there's definitely a place to be emotional and passionate about things, but there's also a time to be scientific and factual. And emotions and facts don't have to go together. There doesn't need to be emotion when you're talking about a fact, you know? Mm-hmm. How you feel about that thing doesn't change the fact. Mm-hmm. Like Neil deGrasse Tyson says, science works whether you believe in it or not. Mm-hmm. It's true no matter if you think it's true or not, because it's the facts. It's what we can prove and disprove. And that's interesting when it comes to talking to people and looking at things more factually as opposed to emotionally.
Right. So I don't want to cut you off, but mention those apps again, mainly for me, so I can check them out, so they can check them out.
The first app, the app that I've used a lot, is 10% Happier. It used to be free. Now it's just a free trial, I think. Right? Is that what you said?
That's why I didn't download it, is because I went into it thinking it was free. I don't know how much it is, but yeah, when I tried to download it, it was like start free trial, and you know how free trials work.
Yeah.
Once it ends, they hit your card with it.
It may be a free trial. Maybe you have to pay for it. I'm not sure, but that's one that I've used, and I really enjoy it. They have a lot of good, like meditation experts, people that have been doing it for 30, 40 years. And they kind of walk you through guided meditations. It makes it a world easier than just trying to figure it out on your own. There's that one. There's also the Headspace app, which when I did it, that one was free too, and then you can pay to kind of unlock more of it if you want. And that one was kind of cool, broke it down a little bit different. And there's some cool people on there that similar thing, guided meditations and stuff like that. That one, both of those apps are based around people that have never meditated before. People that have meditated before can definitely benefit from those as well, but it's the whole point of those apps is for people that have never done it and are kind of skeptical of it.
So the next episode, I will be wearing a kimono or whatever the monkey people do. Yeah.
The monk people, like the orange,
yeah,
the orange.
Yeah, with the
That'd be cool.
Yeah,
I'd be okay with that. I'm open-minded to wearing that.
we should do it once. Maybe once we're better at it.
Yeah.
I think we should.
Does that wrap it up? It's about 20
you-
minutes. We can talk more, but if you have any other questions, we got time.
I will have more questions in the future, and that'll be good because we'll need more material. But
Yeah.
for right now, we need to wrap it up. Hey, go meditate
Yes.
and go crush your dreams.
Yes. Get out there, folks. Crush your dreams. Open-mindedness, meditation. Get it all. Thank you, guys.
Right on.